beers.
Hey, Cliff.
Real people like you.
Isn't that cool? I get to sign my life away. This is bad. Phyllis is watching us.
I'm sure it's even more difficult for them to be able to find the opportunity to repair now.
Phyllis is watching you.
Phyllis is she's watching Robert now. Yeah,
She looks so serious.
yeah,
She ought to smile more.
yeah,
That's kind of an Orwellian look.
yeah, yeah.
Glasses.
All right.
I got you.
All right, you guys ready?
Of course.
You guys ready?
Kick the tires and light the fires.
All right. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Please rise and remove your hats for the invocation. Mr. Best?
Our Father who art in heaven, we humbly bow our heads before this council meeting. We're thankful for the responsibility that the citizens of this community has placed upon us, that they trust us enough to go ahead and lead and direct their community. We ask thee to be with those that are not here yet, that they might arrive here safely. We ask you to be with our military at home and abroad, that they go ahead and give us the rights and privileges to conduct community business as dictated. We ask thee to be with us this evening as we go ahead and discuss the matters of this town. And this we say in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. May we have the roll call?
Yes, you may. We'll start with Councilmember Turner,
Here.
Councilmember Mendoza,
Here.
Councilmember Best,
Here.
Vice Mayor Croft,
Here.
and Mayor Marley.
Here. Introductions, presentations, and proclamations. Presentation regarding reorganization and modernization of Development Services Department. Ms. Mayday, you're up.
Okay, so this evening, we're going to give you a demonstration of the new software that we've implemented over the past couple of months. The processes that we had here when I arrived 2 years ago were cumbersome at best. And so we've worked very diligently at getting things, not only the processes streamlined in-house, but to be able to provide better customer service, move to an online permitting and processing capability. So rather than bore you with a PowerPoint of first we do this and then we do that and then we do the other thing and then we go back here, we're going to show you how many handoffs it took to process a single residential building permit.
Okay.
Ready, guys?
So who's doing what?
Who's the customer?
I'm the customer.
I'm the building
I'm the customer. Is it green? Green? Yep, I'm not green. Now green. I'm the customer. I'm coming to build a home. Dan, of course, is still the building official.
And I'll be the admin assistant.
I need a building permit. I want to build a house.
Well, let me give you a building permit application.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to take this home and fill it out, and then I'm going to come back to town, and I'm going to turn it back over along with all my plans.
Thank you. This looks complete. I'll
I-
forward this.
Do I need to leave you a deposit?
You do need to leave me a deposit. Thank you very much.
Do you know how much the building permit is?
I don't know how much the building permit is. I'll have to ask the building department.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll know when we finish processing your plans.
Right. Now Dan gets this.
For 5 to 10 working days, then back to James.
All right. Hello, customer.
Hello.
I've got your building permit application, and the building department determined that your fees will be $10 million.
Oh, my God. This better be really nice. Okay, can you mail that to me, or do I have to come into town and pick it up?
Either way,
Maybe I should come and pick it up and sign for it.
come on in and pick it up and sign for it. Thank you.
Pick up my building permit. One set goes in the basket. You gotta punch holes and put it in the bottom. Every time we touch a piece of paper or one of these permits, we have to punch holes in it and put it in a folder. And then the folder goes back in the filing cabinet. Hey, town. I'd like a building inspection.
I can get you a building inspection in about 24 hours.
Okay, can I get a footing inspection?
Yes, I'll get you a footing inspection, and I'll have the building department come out as soon as possible.
Okay, but 24 hours is the soonest.
Yes.
Okay, great, because it's supposed to rain.
This is literally how many touches. We're talking. And out in the field it goes, inspection's done, the compliance report's filled out, copies left on site. This goes back, goes in there.
Don't you have to staple that?
I don't see it. That would give you a little copy back in there.
That all goes back in there.
Next inspection.
And now I need a pre-slab inspection. So when you're done with all of that, would you hurry up and get me a pre-slab inspection? Well, that's got to go back in the drawings.
You need a pre-slab inspection?
I need a pre-slab inspection. When can I get that?
I can get them out there at the soonest, 24 hours.
I'm supposed to go out of town this afternoon. Can't you get them out here sooner?
I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
We're all about customer service. So it's all stapled in, back out in the field, inspection's done, first copy, back in the basket.
For an average single-family home, there are, what, 12 inspections?
Minimum.
Wow, okay, thank you.
65 touches.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Of just paper.
11 triplicate forms, and then the application's another one.
What happens if they fail?
Oh, yes. We have a failure lined up.
Pre-slab, pre-slab failed.
My pre-slab failed. Oh, no, I failed.
So we go out again.
Your pre-slab inspection was failed.
Oh, my God, what do I do now?
You'll have to get a re-inspection.
Oh, my God. All right, how soon can we do that?
At
This
the
afternoon?
soonest, at the soonest, 24 hours.
All right.
Do you have to pay for the extra inspection?
After this one,
Yeah.
at this point, when we go back out, it's not ready.
My contractor's not here. He hasn't fixed anything.
Back in the basket, re-inspect fees due. Now she has to come back and pay the re-inspect fee. Next day she doesn't know.
Now I have to come in and pay a re-inspect fee on top of all of this?
Yeah, your re-inspect fee will be $80.
Are you kidding me? On top of 10 million I'm already paying you?
Yeah, that's adding up to $10,080.
Oh, my God. All right, well, hurry up. Can you get somebody out today?
Probably within 24 hours.
So each one of these transactions is 2 business days.
Yeah. Excuse me, Dan?
Go out, it
2 days.
Yeah.
2 days.
passes, all that goes back to the file. Hold upon.
What happens if you don't know that it failed?
Oh, yes, that's another one.
Hopefully you don't proceed.
Excuse me, Dan, how many times, how many different inspections did you say for Owl?
12 on a single family.
12 on a single family.
So 12 times we go through this, so that's 24 days of just paper processing.
That's assuming that they all pass, they're all ready.
Wow.
There have been instances where Dan has gone out on an inspection to follow up on something that somebody else did, and because it's all paper, doesn't know that the paper's in the basket, gets out to the field, doesn't know that there's an intervening inspection in there, goes out to inspect plumbing when he's supposed to be looking at a slab.
Yeah. Now, how fast is our new program?
It's lightning speed.
How much does an average residential permit cost?
For a single-family residence, right around 3,000. That's in the subdivision with water and sewer.
So $3,000 covers 11 inspections minimum.
12 minimum.
22 days of work time, not a whole day, but 22 inspections.
You'd have to ask Joe if that covers that, I don't know. It helps.
Excuse me, Matt in the back? No, you're good. Okay. You wanted Robert to speak into the microphone? All right. Well, Dan, help us out with this new.
I'll just show you real quick. This is Citizen Serve. I'll show you, for
In this demo,
instance,
we'll take a look at the general features
we'll do
available in
permit.
Citizen.
This is just a quick overview.
In this demo, we'll take a look at an overview of the CitizenServe permitting module.
Whoop.
When you log into CitizenServe, you'll see all of your pending tasks, such as plan reviews or inspections. You can click on the map icon to view your activities on a map, or drill down on the task or permit for additional information. On the permit page, you can view basic permit information such as address, permit type, description, and application and approval dates. You can add unlimited custom fields to your building permit to track the information you require on your permit applications. In this example, we've set up custom fields for primary and secondary structure, occupancy, construction type, and square footage, along with custom fields for all the contractors working on the permit. You can also set up fee structures to automatically calculate and add permit fees based on your fee structures, and you can track multiple payments on each permit. Plans or other documents can be attached to the project and will be displayed on the Documents tab. The Reviews tab will list all of your plan review tasks on the project. You can create custom review routes based on your permit types and review process. The Inspections tab will list all of the inspections on the permit, including the inspection date, inspector, type, and status. You can drill down on an inspection to see inspection report information. With the CitizenServe permitting module, you'll be able to track all of your permit projects easily and efficiently.
So that's what it looks like from our side. If you want to see real quick, I can show you from it's called the Citizens Access Portal, and that's available from our website. So the big CitizenServe icon. So if you're on the website, you want to apply for a building permit, this is the access portal. So this is what the side the public sees. So you would go to permitting. You want to apply for a permit. I have one that I did a temporary. So I've already used this for some training. Let's just say we're doing a new project. So it wants to know where it's at. Let's say we're it probably knows where that's at. It might not. Let us go through it anyway. So here, excuse me, this is the beginning of your permit application. So and you see these red slashes, those indicate required fields. So it wants to know the type of work we're going to be performing. Wow, this mouse is sensitive. Let's see if we're there. We'll say we're doing remodel. Okay, last, but permit type, and this is all the people in the public they could fill out to a certain point. You saw where the fees were all calculated. It stops right there, and all that's done on the staff side. So let's see, we're doing it. Do it to you. So then it opens up the rest of the permit. You'll see just these are what's required. So it wants to know how many structures, type of construction, say 5B. So on and on. They have to take a stab at a value. We'll say it's 50,000. Submit. Occupancy group. Oh, square footage too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
occupancy group.
I see it. I see it. This is a pull down, and most of these have a pull down, so it's a little easier. People know what their options are. We'll say this is business. So we submit. This will put it into in a tracking route.
Mhm.
So that part of it's done. On the staff side of it, it'll come up as an unassigned task, or it could be assigned to a certain admin person. They'll pull it up. They'll start the review process. It'll go back to and everything's done from either a desktop or the tablet. I think somebody picked up one.
And Dan, when does this system come online then?
October of 14.
October 14th?
And we've been just working out the bugs and trying to make it to where you customize it completely to what you do and how you track files. So once they're done with that, now they can come back at any time with that login and they can check the status of their permit. They can apply. They can ask for a building inspection, and you can keep that same sign in.
Okay, great.
You can see so you can access planning and zoning from here, permitting, business licensing, and we've set up for contractor registration where contractors can go on here and register, and code enforcement.
Oh, excellent. And you're going to do quite a few dry runs on this, I take it?
I'm sorry?
Mayor, we're using it now.
Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, and so in the field now, when the inspectors go out, everybody has a tablet. So all the information is on there to pull up. You can see, we can scan plans in if we get them sent digital. We can pull them up on there. The inspection's done. You pull up an inspection compliance report. That's on our side of the module. You fill it out, you hit print. It prints out in the back seat of the truck. You leave it on the job site, or what most people, especially that are building in the subdivisions, they just email it.
Okay.
And it's just a click. It's done. It's done. So all that work that was done up here, it's done. It's already in the file. It's there forever. It's all recorded.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Well,
Anything,
thank you.
any other part of it you guys want to see?
I'm good with it.
Yeah,
I think it's awesome.
great.
I know it's not near as exciting.
If I was doing all that paperwork, it'd be as exciting for me.
I have a couple
Yeah,
of
it's,
questions.
and it's accurate.
Pardon me?
I have a couple of questions.
Oh, yeah, hang on for a second here. I think, let me find the rule from Phyllis on this. Are you still with us, Phyllis? Okay.
See there?
Yeah, we can have a brief summary of, this is a presentation itself, so that wouldn't be current events. Yeah, we can ask questions on the presentation.
Okay. Okay, what happens, what do you do if I come in and I say, I want to build a house? I've never used a computer, don't have one.
Good question, thank you. In the office, did we ever get any of those pictures uploaded? Okay. I don't know who's been in the office recently, but there's a pull-out monitor like this at the walk-up counter. That slides out, there's a keyboard, there's a mouse right there. We will either help you or we will input the information for you and get it all on there. Same thing, you go through the same process, you pay your deposit, prints out, you get a receipt, out you
Okay.
go. In inspections, you can still call in.
Okay, great. What happens if the website goes down? I mean, what happens if the computer fails? I mean,
That's a good question.
If you're
That's a good
offline.
one. Spencer?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm just asking, because I mean, if you know, I know the paper is cumbersome, but you can always go back to the
We
paper
go
unless
right
you have
back
a
to the
fire.
paper. We go right back to the paper.
But is there paper?
There is.
Okay, you have paper to back this up that you can get your hands on. Okay,
Everything that comes through as an inspection, either through here or through on the phone line, it's all written down, so we know for sure what inspections we had that day. If we have to go out and do it on no paper, we'll do that, give them a verbal okay, or leave a note on site, and then as soon as it's up, put it, do all the data.
so it doesn't
input.
put us out of business for
No,
2
no, no,
days
no.
while they're fixing it? Okay, great. Chief?
You're backing up your data somewhere else, aren't you? Like everybody else does with computers, so if it
This
goes
is-
down, you go back.
this is all
bring it back
cloud-based.
up and Bring it back up.
If I could, the agreement that we have with CitizenServe and the agreement that we have with the company that manages our website guarantees 99.999%, you're up. Now, that's not a guarantee that there won't be a problem with Cable One. If somebody takes out the right telephone pole, you're down for a bit. One of the nice things, though, are that with the tablets, we do have the cellular card. We're able to be out in the field and using the cellular system, the wireless phone system, still be on the internet. So while at your home, the cable through Cable One may be out, we're still able to conduct business through the tablets wirelessly. So with the paper backup, and the backup services that are provided by the website and CitizenServe, we're well covered for the data. But staff has been working very hard to make sure that people who come in that aren't really computer users would be facilitated through the process, so it's not a barrier to anyone. Everybody would be able to get to do what they need to do.
Great.
Great. Any others? Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Reducing paperwork, that's a good thing. Call to the public. Call to the public is an opportunity for the public to address the council concerning a subject that is not on the agenda. Public comment is encouraged. Individuals are limited to speak for 3 minutes. The total time for call to the public may be up to 30 minutes per meeting. Council action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, scheduling the matter for further consideration and decision at a later date, or responding to criticism. Do we have anyone for call to the public? Yes, sir. Please come up to the podium.
Good evening, Richard Bowler from the Paulden Area Community Organization, or PACO. It's more commonly used. The subject tonight, for me at least, is the project we had this summer during July and August with the bus from Paulden to the pool and on into Safeway. And so some lessons learned on that and some suggestions that might make it better next year. First year is always awkward when you're starting something up. We hope it'll be next year also and continue on. But here's some things we can do to make it better. The first item is on our shoulders. We didn't really pick the best place for a pickup. We put it in central Paulden, but that's not really where the concentration of people are. That's further on down, a mile further off of Bramble. There is a fairly, like a sub-community up there with lots and lots of kids. Down by the old volunteer fire department, there's about a 1 block long section of kids, and that's about it. So we made a mistake there. On the good news, the advertising for that was pretty good, and we thought we did a reasonably good job. We handed out flyers to every student at charter school. There's 100 and whatever it is, 80 or something there. We had stuff in the post office, the food bank. Churches got flyers, Pink Store, Blue Store, Family Dollar, all that got flyers. They were handed around all over the place, and we stressed that adults could ride that also, so that you could come in and get to Safeway, do your shopping, ride it home. So that worked rather well. But not many people took it. So again, it was a lack of people at the pickup point. So now the transit, Yavapai Transit was worried about, is there a left turn lane off 89? Is there a turnaround up there at Bramble? And yes, there is. It's just as safe there to have a bus stop, turn around, and pick up people. So that's a given. What you could do, though, is the awkward part of all this was the pool hours. Okay, the pool hours right now are you can get into the pool at 12 o'clock and then you run out at 2:30. You have to wait a half an hour to get back in, and then you're charged a second entry fee into the pool, and you can stay there from 3 o'clock to 5:30. Well, I'm not used to that. I didn't grow up with that, and I don't know of anybody else that got run out of a pool and then charged to get back in. Usually pools are open either all day or, you know, whatever. I used to go at 8 o'clock in the morning and leave at 5, and I was in there. It was a municipal pool. I stayed in there, you know, took a class and then stayed in for the rest of the day. So I think that was probably the biggest hindrance for people to come in to say, okay, I'll ride the pool bus, but I only get 2.5 hours. I've heard that the reason for the 30-minute delay was to check the pool chemistry. Well, that can be done real time, and it should be done real time. So I'm not sure that's a great way to do it. So something to think about is I think you'll get a lot more people if you make it from 12 to 5:30 and invite the people to come in. If you want to charge a little more, say 1.5 times what you would have charged. But I think you're scaring people off just because 2.5 hours isn't long enough to have fun. You barely get wet and then you run out. So there may have been a good reason for it, but I'd rethink that.
Okay.
And that was it. And then you'd save some money. The benefit, side benefit is from the Yavapai Transit is we get rid of that center. There was a 2 o'clock, 2:30 run back and forth. So we had 3 runs during the day. With it going all day long, you just get rid of that middle run because kids are going to stay in there all day. So it saves them money, saves them manpower and scheduling and all that stuff. So,
Okay, thank you very much.
questions? No?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Richard.
All right. And Councilman Best, you drove the bus this last year, so.
I did.
I saw you were taking notes. All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bowler. Is there anyone else for call to the public? Okay, call to the public is now closed. Response to the public. Response to the public is an opportunity for the mayor to inform the public about how town officials address matters raised during call to the public at a previous meeting. We didn't have any response to the public. Our next item is current event summaries and reports. This item is for information only. The mayor, any council member, or town manager may present a brief summary or report of current events or ask a staff member to provide the same. Presentation on information requested by the mayor and council will be made and questions answered. No action will be taken. Do we have any status reports or committee reports on this side? No? Yes, sir.
We're kicking off the Citizens Academy on September 17th. It'll be conducted right here in the council chambers. It's an hour and a half per week for 8 weeks. We will cover all the various departments in the town. You get a chance to meet the mayor and the rest of the council and many staff members. And then we'll talk about the educational institutions. We'll talk about the local service clubs. And then we'll end it up with talking about the strategic plan that the town council's been working on. So it's free, it doesn't cost anything, just about an hour and a half a week of your time for 8 weeks. And you'll get a really basic knowledge about the town and what we do.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, Mr.
League of Cities.
Pardon?
League of Cities.
Sounds good.
3 of us spent 3.5 days this last week down at the League of Cities, and there was some really good information there, and I think all of us brought back some things we want to investigate as far as just making things better in our community, as well as just helping us get through our day-to-day things that we do. So I think everybody that went will be visiting with staff and sharing information. The stuff that we got, listening to people in different towns that have had different issues and how they came around for solutions, at least on my end, was great. Gave me a lot of good ideas.
All right. And to piggyback on that, I had opportunity to go to a disaster preparedness class, which was very interesting insofar as how various cities deal with chemical spills and those kind of things. and also went to one on the California water shortage and its effect on Arizona, and it's going to have quite an effect on our state. So those were both very informative. All right, Mr. Smith, I believe you had one.
Thank you, Mayor. Really quick, just wanted to remind the community that September the 5th is Territorial Days Parade. There's a race, a pancake breakfast, the parade, as well as vendors. I'd like to see Chino Valley come out and enjoy the day with us. I also wanted to introduce James Gardner. He's our new planner. Elise left us for the big city several months ago. James has come in to pick up the work and run with it. And I would ask if I could have 2 minutes of council's time for an announcement from Miss Mayday.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Yesterday, on Monday, we received a telephone call from the Economic Development Administration. They announced that we have been formally awarded the $1.6 million that we have been waiting for. We are expecting a packet from them. There will be contracts in front of you at the next council meeting in September for review and signature. As soon as we get those signed and back to them, we schedule what they call a welcome conference call for an hour and a half, and then we'll be in a position to start moving. So we're very pleased to hear that we've finally reached the end of this road. We've jumped through almost all of the hoops, and I look forward to starting to dig.
All right. We want to thank Ruth and all the staff that worked on this. This is great.
Thank you.
There's been much weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth, so I'm glad we finally got this one done. Consent agenda. All those items listed below are considered to be routine and may be enacted by one motion. Any council member may request to remove an item from the consent agenda to be considered and discussed separately. Does anyone wish to remove any consent agenda items? Oh, okay. May we have the consent agenda?
Six.
Mayor, can I interrupt for a second?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I like a disembodied voice? On the first item, the site lease amendment, there was a last-minute change to the configuration. It was sent today. I think that Jamie has a copy of it. I'm not sure if there's a copy for you and the council members available. It's a minor change, so I just wanted to make you aware that there will be a different legal description and configuration than what you have before you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Smith, do you have a brief overview of what that is? I guess we have to pull that consent agenda item in order to discuss it, correct? Okay, I would move that we pull that consent agenda item A, and then if Jamie can read the other two, then we'll deal with that one. Thank you, Phyllis.
All right. 6B is consideration and possible action to cancel the November 24, 2015 and December 22, 2015 regular meetings. And C is consideration and possible action to accept the July 16, 2015 study session minutes.
The chair would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve consent agenda items B and C.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Action items are the council may vote to recess the public meeting and hold an executive session on any item on this agenda pursuant to ARS 38-431.03A3 for the purpose of discussion or consultation for legal advice with the town attorney. Executive sessions are not open to the public and no action may be taken in executive session. Our first item to deal with is what used to be consent agenda item 6A, consideration and possible action to approve the first amendments to wireless communications site lease with Sun State Towers LLC and memorandum of amendment to lease agreement with Sun State Towers LLC. This difference in configuration, can you give us a Reader's Digest version of it?
Yes, sir,
Mr.
Mayor. APS has to designate the route for power back to the cell site.
Mhm.
They did so in the initial lease documents that were approved by council. That was modified by APS after the fact,
Mhm.
after council's approval, and it was coming back to you on consent for approval of that. I was not aware that the second legal description was not accurate, and so you're approving a power easement of the same width
Mhm.
across the same parcel, but apparently the legal description is a little different than what they sent us last week. Phyllis, do you have details?
Only that the vendor or the lessee is going to provide the legal description. He wasn't able to have it done today, but expects to have it done tomorrow. And it will match what was provided on that, the survey today.
Okay, so we've had a slight change because APS needed to route the power a little differently.
Yes, sir. It was driven by them.
Okay, I don't really think that's a source of grave social import.
Does it impact on any of our customers' property or anything? It's on the same right-of-way and easement?
No, sir. It traverses the town's property, and you're going to have a power an easement for power to that facility. So it's my understanding from Phyllis, what was drawn on the drawing was solid, but the legal descriptions were different.
Okay,
And so it had to be corrected.
so it traverses the town's property.
It goes from the front of the community center
Mhm.
back to where the tennis courts were,
Okay,
in the back. You know, the public asked us to relocate the cell site
Mhm.
further into the back where the town public works yard is,
right,
and they had to route power back there.
okay.
And when that was drawn up, APS asked for something a little different, and now we're getting the legal description together.
Okay. Any questions on this side? No.
No.
I don't have any heartburn with it. It's all underground anyway.
It's basically just typo, right?
Yeah.
Just got to redo the print.
You know, I didn't see what the problem was with the legal description, but it's my understanding that the language of the legal description doesn't exactly match what was on the drawing, and they've got to make that consistent. But Phyllis, I think, is more aware of the details than I am.
Okay. All right. The chair would entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve consent agenda item A.
Okay, 6A.
Second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 7A, consideration and possible action to approve the proposed town hall location for the Granite Mountain Hot Shots Monument. We've had several presentations. Mr. Nietzschman, I guess.
Yeah, you had several.
You wish to speak to us. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me, and good evening. I tried to be real brief. I do have to mention, however, in your agenda package where it says alternative locations have not been fully considered by the donating entity, we feel that we have spent a lot of time in our lodge talking about this and looking at the various possibilities. It is just that we had always come back to where we started out, the town hall. Aside from that, it also says that that we declined to do ADA compliance at this location out here. Well, the architectural drawing that was done in September of 2014 by a Stroh architectural firm in Prescott took the walkway on the north end of this building and extended it to where the proposed monument would be, and that would be ADA compliant. The only thing that we said we could not do was paint handicap parking lots on your driveway or, you know, the north side of the building or wherever. Okay? Now, let's see. Okay, it also says that the Elks declined to provide additional details or sketch plans, as it was repeatedly explained, because we feel the front of the town hall is the best place for this monument. Now, let me add to that, however, if the mayor and the council in their wisdom decide that they don't want it in front of town, or that they only want it at Memory Park, I will obviously accept your verdict. I'll take it back to the lodge. They will have to vote on it, and I would then come back to, who would I go to, Development Services? Or you, somebody to let them know what, you know, if we accept the other place.
If you let our
Mr.
town
Brown,
manager
Mr.
know,
Smith?
yes, sir.
Okay. That's all I have. Anybody, any more questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
No, sir. Did you have any questions?
Well, yeah, my question was, and you answered part of it, was with the investigating this, looking at the different sites and so on, you know, it looks like Memory Park would just be an easier area, people parking, things like that. And I just wondered what was it outside of just being on the main drag that you didn't like about, you know, the Memory Park location?
Well, the problem we have with any other location aside from the front of the town hall is not as visible to through traffic. It's more the local people that see it. Okay, territorial days, whoever shows up will see it. But the rest of the year, more or less, it is tucked away in a nice corner. I'll grant you, it's a nice place and all that. We're just, one of our main goals is to have this thing as visible as possible to remind the public of what these 19 people gave, which was their life. That was why we wanted it out by Highway 89. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
As we're now open for discussion, Vice Mayor?
Yeah, I've looked at your site out here and where you wanted to put it out in front of the town hall. I'm not real happy with it because of access from people trying to get from a parking lot around to the front. It could be difficult. It might add a lot more traffic in and out of the town hall area. I don't know. I personally think I'd like to have it out there as much as visible as possible, but I think looking at the things that are at Memory Park, and that's why we have Memory Park, it probably should be at Memory Park.
Any other discussion? I talked with Mr. Nietzschman about this early on, and I told him that I felt Memory Park was, for the town, was the best place to put the monument. And as Mr. Nietzschman said, he wants as much exposure of that monument as possible. So that's why he asked that it be brought to the town council, that we make that decision. So the chair would entertain a motion. Is there any other discussion on the part of
Well,
the council?
I'm just going to say, you know, I wish that we had a town square like the courthouse square, you know, in Prescott, where people meandered around and where it was easy, 25-mile-an-hour traffic and things like that, where people could see it. But here, you know, the higher speed going through town and one single driveway, I think, are the kind of the downside.
Well, you have a big lot, you can make a big roundabout.
Yeah.
Traffic can go around it.
Yes, and to piggyback on that, really, Memory Park is as close to a town square as we have. We've got our library there, we've got our senior center there, we've got the Ramadas where everybody can do their picnic stuff, and anyway, those are my thoughts.
There's a lot of traffic in Memory Park, especially on the weekends with people coming in.
All right, well, the chair will entertain a motion.
I want to make a motion to deny the request to install a Granite Mountain Hot Shots monument at Town Hall and recommend installation of the monument in Memory Park.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second, and that motion is to deny the request to install Granite Mountain Hot Shots monument at Town Hall, recommend installation of the monument in Memory Park. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
hard work, appreciate
All
it.
right. Okay. Item B, consideration and possible action to appoint applicants to fill vacancies on the Board of Adjustment, Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, Senior Center Advisory Board, and Municipal Property Corporation. Ms. Lewis, I believe you have that presentation.
Sure. The Appointments Subcommittee met to review several applications for several public bodies, and in your staff report, it lists the people who the subcommittee is recommending for appointment to the Board of Adjustment, Parks and Rec Advisory Board, Senior Center Advisory Board, and Municipal Property Corporation. They also discussed the Planning and Zoning Commission and the Roads and Streets Committee. And because of all the moving pieces and parts, with there being 2 vacancies on council and people from Planning and Zoning and Board of Adjustment possibly applying for these positions, and the applicants that don't get selected to the council maybe wanting to infill some of these things, the subcommittee felt it was just best not to make any recommendations for the Planning and Zoning Commission at this time. And with the Roads and Streets Committee, the current chair was former Councilmember Wojcik, and Vice Mayor Croft has offered to take over the chairmanship of that committee, but because we have more people coming on board the council, the subcommittee also voted to hold that off until, and bring everything back with the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Okay.
So, and then if any of you know any people who'd be interested in the Industrial Development Authority or Municipal Property Corporation, we will still have vacancies there.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
But we do have some recommendations, correct?
We do.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Lewis.
Okay.
Is there any discussion? You guys, you guys interviewed them all?
We interviewed, you want me to go through the list? I can do that.
Oh, no, you just,
We interviewed them, and these are our selections to fill those positions at this time.
okay. The chair would entertain a motion.
Motion to appoint applicants to the Board of Adjustment, Parks and Recs Advisory Board, Senior Center Advisory Board, and Municipal Property Corporation per recommendation of the Appointments Subcommittee.
Second it?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item C, consideration and possible action to disband Council Program Review Subcommittee. I know some of you will shed some tears that you have one less meeting to attend.
I'm going to cry.
But I know the vice mayor hates it when government gets smaller, but anyway. Is there any discussion on this?
Not from this side.
Okay, the chair would entertain a motion.
In consideration of reducing the size of government, I'm going to recommend that we disband the Program Review Subcommittee.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We don't have any items for executive session, so who would like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
You have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Wow, you broke a
Thank you.
record, Mayor.
6:47. How'd we do, Phyllis? We got out at 6:47.
Good night.
Good night.
Hi, Phyllis.
All right. That's great. And our legal bills keep falling. I love it.